Hey y'all, I'm Julia Hatfield, and this is another great episode of ETX Rocks featuring Jackson Taylor.
From the unknown to the stars, from the couch to the car, from the unheralded and the unheard, to the legends and beyond, it's where we all belong. Yes, this is where it all starts. From every genre, from every plane, this is where the music's played. So tune right in, won't you bring a friend? This is where it all begins. Welcome to the show, let the music flow of every style and creed. And you can bet your socks that ETX rocks, ETX rocks.
All right, thanks for checking out the 259th episode of the ETX ROCKS Show. Now, as you can tell, we are on location. We're not in the studio today. And today's guest has been immortalized in a song written by the iconic Billy Joe Shaver. He's also one of the few artists in the world with a Live at Billy Bob's record and has touched the Billboard Top 100 chart multiple times and has recorded over a dozen CDs throughout his career. Making this even more impressive is the fact he has done all of this and much more while staying completely independent. He has been an outlaw, a rebel, an outcast, and has been blacklisted from venues all over the world, straight from his webpage. Jackson Taylor might have been known as Texas' baddest boy, but he has found his center and is making good with his undeniably rich music. It is a privilege to talk to the one and only Jackson Taylor this week on the ETX. All right, so guys, we're sitting here with Jackson Taylor along with Sex Machine. Say hi, Sex Machine, otherwise known as Belly.
That's
so, man, you've been on the road all day today, right?
Yeah, we about 19 hours to get here.
Wow. So, where'd you come in from? Denver?
Denver.
Yeah. And, like I said in the open, this guy right here is an absolute icon in Texas and beyond.
Thank you.
And it's just a real thrill to get to talk to you a little bit today.
I appreciate you taking the time.
And so he is playing live tonight at the Red Dirt, Texas Dance Hall and Saloon. It's a mouthful.
It used to be the Levee.
Yeah, it was the Levee. You've played at the Levee a few times.
Yeah.
I mean, you've made your way through this area a ton.
I think I've played the Levee more times than we've actually had people show up at the Levee.
Yeah, playing for tens and tens of people. I think you're going to have a really good crowd tonight.
We love it.
Yeah.
The people that own it are nice.
Yeah.
Really nice people.
And, I mean, you're on your Long Line of Lovers tour.
Yes.
And this is to support the single of the same name.
Yes.
And so the single was doing really well on Texas radio.
Well, it's a singles misnomer. We hadn't put a record out for a couple of years, so we recorded one song and just released it digitally. And we didn't release it as a single on radio, but there was actually it wasn't like a Texas chart. It was just like in Texas, actual Spotify and Pandora plays.
Right. And I mean, it was killing it on Spotify.
Yeah.
I mean, huge numbers.
Been doing really well for us.
Yeah. And this is the second time he's come through East Texas on this tour, and you were under the weather a little bit the first time you came through.
I had a flu.
It was like
either a week ago or 3 months ago. I can't remember what it was, but it's all blurred.
Yeah, it was hitting everybody hard around here.
First day I hit me. We did 9 shows in 10 days, and I had the flu for every one of them.
Yeah. So I mean, you've been doing this a long time now, almost 20 years or over 20 years, and
so the first album came out in 2001.
Yeah, made a whole lot of noise along the way.
Yeah, a lot of it was not joyful.
Yeah,
a lot of joyful noise.
Well, I mentioned in the
a lot of loud noises, I guess.
Yeah, I mentioned in the intro a little bit earlier that you have found your center, and I know a lot of times that can take a lot of time to do that.
You found it multiple times. I tend to swing on a pendulum.
Yeah.
Where I end up in a good place for a while, and like everybody else,
Right.
Then things fall apart, and I spin off a little bit, and I come back in. And
is that harder as a musician than you think than it would be for someone who's not on the road all the time?
It's probably easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when my last marriage ended, I just took off.
Yeah.
I stayed gone for a year, and just I didn't have to deal with it, didn't have to meet any new boyfriends, didn't have to, I was able to stay busy and stay otherwise engaged. But I think people that have to live in the same town and see their spouse all the time and see everyone knows them. Yeah, for me, I just gotta go and.
It makes for great writing material, though, doesn't it?
It is. It's people say that you don't have to be that. Great art doesn't come from suffering, but For me, I can't make up stories, so it has to be.
Yeah,
real.
you have to experience it for people to connect
But,
to.
there's good, great songs come from good things too.
Yeah, and you're also painting now too, right?
Yeah. Well, it's more pen and ink.
Yeah.
It's sketching, drawing. Kind of just messing around with a lot of different mediums.
Does that take you to a different place than writing art?
It really does.
What's the difference for you?
It's just seeing music. I have a band, and I have depends on if someone comes to see us or how the sound goes, or there's so many variables that affect how a night might go. And with doing art, it's just me. It's me at my drawing table with my inks and my whatever I'm working with at that time. And there's no one else. If I do something really good, it's all on me, and if it sucks, it's all on me.
Right.
No one can ruin it for me.
You don't really have to turn
the
the volume up on your personality all that much either.
I've really done that too much. I've always, people be surprised how kind of introspective and quiet I can be.
Yeah.
I've never done well amongst people. And that's probably why there's been a lot of the conflict I've generally had over my life. I'm not very good at it. You look at me right now, I'm sitting here.
I think people would be surprised to hear that from you.
If I don't have a guitar in my hand or a bottle of whiskey in my hand,
you don't know what you're doing with your hands.
Yeah, I just don't. I'm like, I'm not particularly someone who relishes the spotlight or searches it out.
Yeah, and I mean, being from Colorado, living in Colorado now, but you're still trying to remain relevant in Texas. Obviously, you have a huge following in Texas with the Billy Bob's album and all the radio hits you've had here. How hard is it for you from outside the state to remain relevant here?
To be honest with you, we've never done. Texas has always been probably our Texas and Oklahoma, which just baffles me. We've always had to leave Texas and Oklahoma to make a living.
Yeah.
When we lived here, so I always had to leave Texas and come back. We moved to. I've always loved it. We moved to Denver because my ex-wife is from there, and so she moved there with my son, and so. I kind of had to follow suit.
Right. Yeah.
So it's but I've always stayed connected to Texas. We've always continued playing it.
Yeah.
But we're just a band that has to. We have to travel the entire country to be able to make a living.
You can't get into that rotational rut within any certain geographic area.
Yeah. We've just never been. We've always been kind of a weird cult band.
Yeah.
I've been at the same level for 20 years.
Right.
Like people. There's every band you can think of that's opened up for us and then blown up, and I've always somehow stayed right at that cusp, which has been good for us because it's kept us hungry. It's kept us. I've never been able to rest back on laurels or on a big hit or nothing like that. We've always had to keep
hustling.
Yeah.
Man, one thing you've probably been asked a million times, and I'm just going to probably regurgitate the same question you've heard before, but what's it like for you to have some of your heroes kind of hanging out with you, writing music about you, sharing the stage with you?
When Billy Joe Shaver sent me that text that we posted, and he told me, he says, "Hey, buddy," goes like, "I just want you to know first that it's hard on Outlaws, because I have a song called Outlaws I Don't Want Anymore."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "I just want you to know that you're the one who gave me the idea for the song." And he says, I've been doing interviews with Rolling Stone and like every single magazine. I've talked about you for an hour, and he's like, they won't print your name in any of them. He's like, and Billy Joe Shaver's really funny,
Yeah.
He says, there's a lot of people. I always hear people talk about what did he say? What did he use? Basically, kind of unhinged and unpredictable I am. He's like, well, you're consistently hated everywhere.
Maybe by venues and such, but man, like you said earlier, you do have a huge cult following of fans.
Yeah, we have people that literally drive. Almost every night, we'll have people that drive up to 6, 7, 8, 9 hours.
It's got to be very humbling for you.
Yeah, it is. It's the hard part is that I don't generally use a set list.
Yeah.
Because we play all over the country, and since we've never really had like a hit, they've all been songs that blow up in certain areas. That it's like, and I've been playing for so long. I have 17 albums, so it's depending on where we're at. This group of people in this state are more into these 40 songs. These people are, so it's every night I have to leave someone without a song they maybe have driven 9 hours to come see because my band can't know. I have 100 and some songs.
Well, you have a huge catalog.
Yeah,
man.
they just can't know them all. It's like, we only have time for 27, 28 songs, and that's why I don't use a set list. So I've never used one. I'll have
just
a
kind
list
of feeling out the crowd. The crowd
I have a list of
dictates
songs.
what your set list is.
I have a list
gonna
of
be.
songs that, in case someone calls something out, I can look down and draw from. But I've never used a set list like it went by it. I've never done the same show twice ever.
Awesome. And he is in kind of a hurry today. I'm just really happy that you still took some time out to talk.
I'm really sorry about that, man. We got
No
a few minutes
problem.
after, so-
We'll sit down in the future next time you come out, and we'll plan it out a little bit better.
I didn't know we were playing so early. Usually it's go on to about 11.
This is East Texas, man.
Yeah. Well, even we play here, like we always. My buddy John used to own the place. And I think it was players next door too. So we, I'm trying to think of the strip club we always went to.
Probably Legends or something like that, or
my other buddy owned that one too.
what was it called? Streakers.
I think it was Streakers. I always go to SG.
Can't believe we're
SDJ.
talking about strip clubs here on the show, but that's all right.
Yeah, I like strip clubs.
You guys know they exist. Get over it.
If they listen to my music, they won't have a problem.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so last question. I would really love to talk to you in the future again.
I got a few minutes, man.
Okay, cool. All right, so one of the biggest videos that has really hit home for you on YouTube, social media, stuff like that is the medley you did of "He Stopped Loving Her Today" with Purple Rain.
Yeah, that's really. It was right at 1 million hits, and then it got taken down.
How was that planned out? I got to hear the story.
It wasn't. I do. That's what I'm saying. We never do the same show twice. I never really go by any. I go by really loose arrangements in my band. And when I say this, I'm not joking. My band has no idea what song I'm going to call it next. They have no clue. The same with Billy Bob's. We did like. It's about 25.
That's probably the
songs.
reason for the whiskey. I might add.
What is they're like? My buddy Mike. He's from here.
Yeah.
He's from Longview. He's always funny because it's when he first started, he was really want to do well. He liked the band for a long time, and he's always shows like the first show. He's like, what song are we gonna do? I'm like, hey, we comes time, I'll let you know. So we're getting there, and he just keeps asking me. I keep saying the same thing, and so we start walking up on stage, and it was a pretty good crowd, and we start walking up. He's like, hey, buddy, any idea what the first song's going to be? I go, well, I'll tell you when it's time. He's like, but it's pretty much time. Like, okay.
It's pretty much time.
like that's how I live completely and totally in the moment. I don't write songs like other people do. I don't sit down and write them. I go to the studio. I book out the studio for 2 weeks, and then we go in there, and I'm like, okay, and I'll write a song that day.
You're writing the songs in the studio.
I'll come up with it, right? I'll come up with the chorus. This kind of come to me, and then we lay it down, and then I write the vocals as I'm singing them. So it's
awesome.
like it's like kind of almost what would rappers do?
Freestyle.
Yeah, I spit my lyrics. Freestyle.
He spits his lyrics. You heard it here first.
I don't write anything down.
Yeah, awesome.
And it works for me if I have to kind of put myself entirely under the stress of it, and then it's and we treat the studio just like we do anything else. It's the same vices are in the studio. There's almost no difference between the studio and a live night.
And I think that's important anyway because you're you're playing live to try to sell your records and stuff like that anyway. So
we're not Queen. We're not Eagles. We're not, we don't layer tons of vocals, and we're a live
hard hitting
gut bucket honky tonk. But we're a bar band. And that's I kind of need the music to come across on record the way it's going to come across when you come see it. No matter who's playing for us. We have changed. If I change instrumentation, and there's huge differences in guitar tones and even attack. People always tell us we sound like the records, even though the parts are completely different. Because we don't, But I think it's because the energy's still there. The spirit of it is still there.
And you did mention earlier that you don't really push songs to radio all that much anymore. So what's kind of your formula for getting music heard now?
I literally we put out a record and post it on social media, and that's about it. Spotify will post on there, but I quit. I think in 2009, I quit singing like singles radio, or quit trying to be on like radio stations or get any of that stuff.
Do you just feel like? What's your thought process there as far as?
We're just not. It's not. If you listen to the radio and you listen to this, there's nothing remotely the same. It'd be, it's. And I've had some number ones in Texas. I had number twos, and it's still never translated to success there that much because it's usually there'll be DJs who like us and others that don't get us, and we're just a band that you either get or you don't.
You're right.
And there's like in pushing my music to people who listen to FM radio is kind of a waste of my time because it's a waste of their time. It's just not they're not gonna get it.
Was there ever a time where that bothered you? That some people just didn't get it?
No, I knew people weren't going to get it.
Yeah.
I'm always surprised when people do get it. I really am. I'm surprised that I've had any success, at anything.
Yeah.
You know, I've always done it because I was compelled to do it, and I love to do it, and I love the lifestyle, and I wanted to be, I wanted to be, I grew up watching honky tonk in Northern California and Washington State, watching Texas too when I was a kid in Texas, and watching bar bands. And that's, I never really cared much about. I never thought about people recording my songs. I always wanted songs that guys would play on a bar stand, on a bar stage, on the bandstand. Like I grew up with playing so much Merle Haggard and Waylon, Johnny Cash, and those songs, whether they were hits or not, they were always standards in any bar you walk into, almost in the world, until just recently, the club there'd be a band up there playing, Working Man Blues or he Stopped Loving Her Today, or Good Hearted Woman, and that's what I envision. The biggest kick I get is when someone sends me to a link and they're like, "Hey, I'm in Florida and check out the local band," and they're playing Cocaine or Barefoot on the Dash or something, or they're playing my version of a cover like Ball and Chain or Honky Tonk Heroes. That's that really blows me away.
Yeah, and I imagine that would be coming from someone who never expected all this that's kind of happened for you.
Yeah, and that's what I always wanted.
Yeah, so just to be heard is just a huge thing for you. It doesn't matter where it happens, or how it happens.
Well, it's bigger for me to hear other people play my songs.
Yeah,
especially in a bar band. I've seen some funny ones like in Europe and different countries and where they hardly speak English, and they're like, I like the cocaine, like that, the whiskey sessions, and they like, and I'm just like, I love it. To me, it's the biggest. It's a huge.
The heck out of that.
It's a huge. That's what really makes my toes tingle.
That's awesome. So guys, we're just really thrilled to be sitting here at episode 259 with Jackson Taylor. We're gonna let him get going. He's still got to get ready for his show tonight. And make sure you're following along with everything Jackson has going on. It's officialjacksontaylor.com, right? And so you can go to his webpage there and find all of his social media. I believe all your records are available on there as well, at least most of them.
Officialjacksontaylor.com. You should scratch yourself. And this, you can follow Sex Machine the Bulldog. What do you got?
Sex Machine the Bulldog.
On Instagram.
Is that really a thing?
Yeah.
She has her own Instagram?
Dude, look at his name.
That's awesome.
Look at her.
What is it again?
Sex Machine the Bulldog.
Sex Machine the Bulldog on Instagram. I'm following as soon as we leave this place, because that's got to be hilarious.
This is Outlaw as it gets. This is Outlaw.
And on Facebook, I know it's Jackson Taylor and the Sinners. Drop them a follow there. And follow along with everything at officialjacksontaylor.com. You'll know where they're playing, when they drop new music, stuff like that. And again, Jackson, thank you so much for a little bit of your time today.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And I hope you have a great show tonight. Welcome back to East Texas.
We're going to have a good time.
Awesome. All right, so once again, if you're tuned in to us for the first time, thanks for doing that. You can follow along with everything we have going on. We're at ETX ROCKS on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Launched a brand new website just a minute ago. It's www.etxrocks.show. And as we always say on this show, we want to thank you guys out there for always supporting live music of all genres and all styles. And don't ever forget,
ETX rocks.
That's right.
From the unknown to the stars, from the couch to the car, from the unheralded and the unheard, to the legends and beyond, it's where we all belong. Yes, this is where it all starts. From every genre, from every plane, this is where the music's played. So tune right in, won't you bring a friend? This is where it all begins. Welcome to the show, let the music flow of every style and creed. And you can bet your socks that ETX rocks, ETX rocks.